Welcome everybody to the top 10 best Chinese anime, or how I like to call it, how to go from 300,000 views to a soft 20,000. Yes, I could make another list about titties, or just sacrifice 2 days worth of work, pick a very niche selection that 80% of people don't even consider anime to begin with, to make it extra hard on myself, because I'm a man of the people. Hashtag free Hong Kong. There you go, it got political, and now everyone hates me. Cool, thanks, I needed that. So yeah, surprisingly, there's not just Japan that makes anime. China has several attempts at it, and surprisingly, they're really good ones. So here is a ranking list that will offer you 10 of my personal favorite ones. For full disclosure, some Chinese anime are in full CGI and are also fully dubbed in Chinese, or rather Mandarin, with Japanese subtitles and English subtitles slapped over it. Look, to make it extra hard for me to sell those to you, if you were hesitant to begin with. Well, let's go before I keep digging my grave so much more I end up in China myself. Number 10, Cupid's Chocolate. Oh yes, you can bet your sweet bum I'm gonna be using their English title. My Japanese is decent, at best on a very nice day, but I ain't touching Mandarin with a 10-foot pole. Wanna see me try? Aishen Qiaokeli-ing. Yeah, it's not better now I have every linguist on my ass. If you want the Chinese title, that baby will be spelled out for you in the top left corner. So Cupid's Chocolate is our first stop. This is probably the most light-hearted one on this list. This anime is a harem rom-com in the same way than Nisekoi or The World God Only Knows, in the sense that you have a main character who's pretty average, but out of the blue several girls start confessing their love to him. Only problem is that he doesn't know who they are. Yeah, I remember having the same problem in high school. I still found this anime quite endearing. It's fun to see the difference between what Chinese people consider comedy as opposed to the more traditional Japanese style. The anime is very vibrant and colorful, which also appealed to me cause I am a color whore. Number 9, Uncharted Walker. If you've seen one of my latest video who blew up last month, you might have noticed Uncharted Walker was one of the spots on there. If you haven't seen it and can't be bothered to look it up, let me catch you up to speed. The story is about a group of random people who all land on a desolated island. Or so they think, when in fact it's inhabited by several primitive tribes. Meanwhile, there's a deadly virus on the loose and these 7 people must work together to escape this hellish nightmare. If you enjoy a good mystery or a fun psychological thriller, I really want to praise this anime. It's quite innovative, and the only drawback I've heard from people is the fact that characters speak Mandarin, and it's a bit destabilizing when you're normally used to hearing Japanese audio. Other than that, that's a great show.
我看你们确实也不是可以裁的人。如果你们顺从我，我会尽全力的保护你。
而是考试内容，尼玛是魔法。
Number 8, Full-Time Magister. This is a story about reincarnation. Reincarnation is a really big part of Chinese culture, so you'll find it a bunch of time in the anime we're going to be talking about today. That being said, let me tell you about this very single one. Full-Time Magister is kind of like the Harry Potter take here. I mean, it's a guy that joins a magic school to become a magician, but soon there's a rumor that starts to spread about his poverty and lack of any magical skills. That is until he can properly show them up with his unique double hit. I don't know, he has lightning and fire. It's an action fantasy magic school. If you like the irregular at Magic High School or Little Witch Academia, you'll find elements of those two shows scattered across. I found it quite entertaining.
是雷西，有人见见雷西啦！
什么？雷西？有雷西？
下一个，小严。
Number 7, Battle Through the Heavens. This might possibly be your first roadblock if you don't like CGI, but if you can muster through that, you'll pick up a really cool action adventure about a land who's devoid of magic and where there's a constant power struggle between the strong and the weak. The main character, who once had power, suddenly loses it all. He must go on a quest to restore it and his reputation. The anime is based on the highly praised novel of the same name. If you're an avid reader and you've been considering tackling Chinese one, this is one well worth the praises. However, it's not quite a two-way street. While watching the anime will absolutely pique your interest into reading the book, if you come from the novel, you might find the adaptation to be lacking on certain elements. Not to say it's a bad one, but you know how adaptation be, dog.
好吗？休妻，我要休了你这个贱人！就不会被伤害。
Number 6. Fox Spirit Matchmaker. Fox Spirit Matchmaker is the only anime on this list that got a Japanese dub. That's how popular it was. The story is about a young Taoist who meets a fox spirit. Through the legends, there is a story that tells a romance between a human and a powerful demon, of how a true love can never be extinguished despite their owner dying. So they get reincarnated and that love gets passed down. It's now up to the Taoist and the fox spirit to make sure they can find the two people who are most suitable for that true love. I don't want to reveal too much, there's over 100 episodes, so it's a pretty meaty story spread over 7 seasons with beautiful artwork, captivating characters, and if you like a good drama rom-com with some supernatural element, you'll be truly enchanted with this one. Number 5. Tales of Demons and Gods. Yes, this is another CGI anime, and you may be tempted to skip it because of that, but that would be a terrible mistake, and let me tell you why. The story is about Nieli, probably butchered that, the strongest demon spiritist who was standing at the top of the martial world. When things starts going south and he died, he got sent back all the way to the body of his past self when he was 13 with the knowledge of the future, and he must now train to prevent the same fate from happening. If you truly can't get over the CGI and that's a massive deal breaker for you, please make an effort to read the light novel counterpart or even the manga. The manga has about 250 chapters and the light novel double that amount, so almost 500 chapters. It's one of the most grandiose Chinese story you can tackle and will not disappoint. Very approachable too. Number 4. Soul End, the last and final martial arts fighting anime on this list, but also possibly the best one of them. I guess it's tied with number 5 since they share a very similar premise. The story begins with the best and strongest disciple of a martial art clan. When he forsakes his life to learn the forbidden lore, he gets reborn in a new world where people fight with spirits. They are known as Spirit Masters. Unfortunately, the main characters got the worst spirit ever. If you want to put a comparison, it's like getting a Kuribo instead of Blue Eyes White Dragon in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or pulling out a Bidoof instead of Articuno in Pokemon. But in exchange, he got a massive spirit power and the memories from his past life. Once again, based on a novel, so if the CGI is a deal breaker, please consider an alternative. The story is well worth it. Number 3. Psychic Princess. In case Fox Spirit Matchmaker was too much of a big commitment for you, but you still wanted a feel-good drama rom-com, this might be your salvation pick. As you expected, the main appeal of this anime is the bonding between the character. The story begins with the oldest daughter of a prime minister who's pretty spunky and has special abilities, as implied by the title. She is betrothed to a royal family, but the guy is kind of a dick. They clash together quite a lot, but eventually they start to lean onto each other. It's very sweet, but it's more on the slower side with lots of dialogue and very meaningful events. If you like the character bonding in Spice and Wolf, this is something similar, but in terms of personalities, you might be looking more into something like Kaicho wa Maid-sama. Either way, it's a very rewarding show if you like romantic drama. Number 2, The King's Avatar. This is probably an anime you heard me talk about in the past because it's so good I had to sneak it in with the traditional Japanese show. The King's Avatar is a story about esports. It's in the game. A team of players play an online game, but when a new member joins the team, the main character gets booted the fuck out, replaced by this young blood. Having to surrender his account and all his credentials, he starts playing the game again from scratch when they open a brand new server, and he makes his way up the ladder really fast because, well, he is a former competitive player. I'm not really sure why I love this anime so much, possibly because I'm really into gaming as well, but the whole esport aspect is really fun to see being adapted into anime, so that's my angle.
不好意思啊，我更喜欢100%。
And finally, number 1, Grandmaster of Cultivation. Honestly, the greatest contribution to anime China has ever made. Based off another novel, Grandmaster of Cultivation is a story about two guys who join forces together to solve the mysteries of the spiritual world. They fight demons, ghosts, and so much more in a visually stunning experience that will melt all of your senses. The bonding between them, the pacing of the anime, I'm trying to say as little as possible without overselling it, but by God is it such a spectacle! Go in with blind faith and you'll have a great time. It's also not in CGI for this one, so there's no way I can actually disappoint you if that's been your main complaint so far. The anime has just about 23 episodes, standard stuff. It's pretty easy to go through and so worth it. So come on, do it! Just do it! Ah, you dick, you didn't do it, didn't you? So please, tell me I could convince you to pick at least one anime out of this list. My personal favorite was number 2, The King's Avatar, and there's a new season coming out in 2020, so I'm really excited for that. Quick shout out to my good friend Andrea Castro. She did a cosplay of my avatar over the weekend, among many other various ones, so if you like some lewd content, wink wink, check out her Twitter account with the link in the description. FYI, yes, it is very not safe for work. But yeah, do whatever you want with that information. If you enjoyed this video, I always appreciate a thumbs up. It gets better stats, and then YouTube's like, wow, people actually care about Chinese anime suddenly? So if you've seen all of the anime on this list, first of all, kudos, you're a completionist. Secondly, you might want to pick a different top than I did. We'll have the playlist for you where you can find a bunch of new shows. There's definitely something you haven't seen. I can assure this. I will find something for you, or I will die trying. Subscribe for my bi-weekly garbage, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!
Hard times, I've been on the wrong side, I've been ashamed. So many memories, you know I'd like to change.